What keeps most people from financial freedom? What keeps most people from having a solid retirement fund? And what is keeping Americans poor? It's not the lattes and the impulse buys. More often, it's car payments. While just having a car isn't a bad thing, most people don't fully realize how much of their wealth is getting flushed down the drain while owning a car that they cannot afford. It's not just the borrowed money. Cars will drastically depreciate in value. A new car will depreciate 63% in the first 5 years. In the example shown, that is a drop in value from $34,968 to just $12,938. With the average monthly new car payment of $563, Americans are taking on auto loans in record-setting amounts and for longer stretches. Overall, Americans own nearly $1.4 trillion in auto loan debt. The same $500 per month invested at an 8% annual return over an entire typical adult lifetime would be over $2 million in retirement savings. But people would rather have a nice car than money. And I get it, you want a nice car, but there are other ways to save and wait until you can actually afford a nice car. If you have to finance it, you probably cannot afford it. According to some financial experts, a good rule of thumb is to pay no more than 5 times your monthly salary for a vehicle. Figure out that amount and save first, then buy once you have the money, otherwise you will stay car poor. When I say car poor, I'm talking about people who have always had and will always have a car payment. Why do people live this way? It really comes down to a handful of reasons. People think that car payments are and will always be a part of life. They don't want to be seen in an older, not as nice vehicle, so they spend their entire life paying for a car to impress other people who probably don't even care. They want a nicer vehicle than they can afford, and they've decided that buying this vehicle is more important than having this money in their retirement account. One of these reasons, in one way or another, encompasses the vast majority of Americans' reasons for having a car payment. Buying a new car is great for a few months, until the new car smell fades, and then it's just like your last car. Were those months worth the extra $50,000 you spent on the new car? Another reason why spending more than 5 times your monthly salary on a car is a horrible idea is the maintenance and other hidden costs that will eat up your savings. The more you drive your car, the more expensive it will be to maintain it. With thousands of parts to each vehicle, something will inevitably break, leak, or need upgrading, especially after the warranty runs out. And it's not just maintenance costs. You will also have to pay for things like gas, interest on financing, insurance, parking, and traffic tickets. Here are a few tips when buying a car. Consider buying a car that's at least 5 years old. In this way, you're skipping majority of the depreciation. As mentioned earlier, a new car will depreciate 63% in the first 5 years. Save money to buy the car in cash. You don't want to pay interest on something that loses value. It's possible that you may be eligible for a discount if you pay in cash. Many dealerships appreciate having all their money up front and not having to deal with monthly payments. You may find that you have more leverage when paying with cash because dealerships might be willing to take less money in order to get all of it right away. Choose a car that fits your needs. Before you start browsing for that one car, think about what you really need from a new car. There's no point buying a 2-seater convertible if you're about to start a family. You might want to consider buying an SUV. Search for the car online. Online broker prices could be 20% cheaper than dealerships, and you can find hundreds or thousands of cars for sale just by making a quick online search. Another benefit of buying a car online is that it saves time. Few of us want to spend an entire Tuesday night or a Saturday morning in a car dealership trying to get a deal done. Using this traditional method, consumers and dealer personnel can spend hours on a single transaction, and neither side is pleased about it. Online car buying can streamline the process by enabling time-consuming chores like filling out paperwork to be done at customers' leisure. Equally appealing to many car buyers is the no-haggle nature of an online car deal. Typically, prices are clearly posted, and as consumers submit personal information regarding their credit history, trade and vehicle value, preferred down payment, and other details, the numbers automatically update. At the same time, there's no sales pressure. If you have to finance a car for 5, 6, or 7 years, you cannot afford it. The fact that the average new car payment is $563, it makes perfect sense why American families are struggling to get ahead. The fact that the average car loan is 66 months long and over $27,000 deep says a lot. It says that we as a country have messed up our priorities. Remember, the average 401k balances for individuals aged between 22 and 34 is only $16,500, and the average balance for those aged between 35 and 48 is only $63,600. It's really up to you how you decide you want to spend your money. A vehicle may be a necessity, but it does not have to negatively impact your financial future. Be smart about your vehicle costs. It might be nice to drive around in something a little fancy, but is it worth the negative impact it may have on your long-term financial goals? That's for you to decide.